The first question I have is, where are we?
This is Urban Gleaners. What you're seeing is some of the 65,000 pounds of food that we collect every month from all over Portland. Food that would otherwise be thrown away, but is perfectly edible. And it all comes in here, gets sorted, looked through, and then it goes out to kids and families who don't have food. Probably 5 years after I started, I was introduced to a woman by the name of Kate Barker.
I said, we need help. We need anything and everything.
Who at the time was principal of North Powellhurst School, which was 280 kindergarten kids in a building.
At that time, over 80% of our students that were living below the poverty line.
It was an astounding thing to see.
So what started out, our first load was just crates of bread that went into the backpacks of all of our children.
I had no idea that children in Portland didn't have enough food. We estimate that at this point we're probably getting food to somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 people a week. We like to say that we are reducing waste and want. We collect all this food.
From where?
From grocery stores, restaurants, event sites, the Moda Center after the Trailblazer game, cafeterias at Nike and Intel, the New Season Central Kitchen.
And you simply just ask them?
We ask them, so do you have leftover food? And everybody does, because the food system is imperfect by its very nature. You know, how do you know on any given day exactly how much people will consume or buy or want or whatever? So there's always leftover food. So we now take food to 25 schools where there are pantries. Parents can come, collect whatever kind of food they want. We like people to take what they want, not what we give them in a box.
What is your ultimate goal with this program?
I'd like to be put out of business. That'd be great. I would like every child and person in Portland who's hungry to have the food that they need.
I think that so often people think that educating students is just about reading, writing, and mathematics. But we know that if our students' basic needs aren't being met, that they can't reach their full potential in those academic areas. One of our goals is to make sure that all of our students do get enough food, and Tracy helps with that mission. And Urban Gleaners has made it possible so that so many of our other students do have access to healthy, organic, beautiful food that can nourish their bodies and their souls.
We want to get rid of the stigma that people have about being embarrassed and ashamed that they don't need food, because life is expensive and it's hard to pay for everything. And this is wonderful, incredible food that is just left over. So we could all just sit down and have some leftovers together.
Now, Tracy and her staff are providing a service to students and their families where in the state of Oregon, nearly 300,000 students are participating in the free or reduced lunch program. The need for food is massive, but Tracy is doing everything she can to make sure that every child in this state has enough to eat.
You see people who just do this wonderful work every once in a while, so it's fun to see. Are schools the only place where this program is serving?
Well, that's the great thing, is it's focused on schools, but they also have mobile markets that will they'll drive out and set up a food stand in food deserts, places where grocery stores don't serve in the communities. And so they'll come up and set up a food cart where people can simply walk up and just choose the food that they need. And there's a map and a list of all the food marts that are coming up at the website at urbangleaners.org.
And I would bet, Joey, with you getting this word out, she'll find a few more businesses who say, hey, we have some leftovers too.
It's all you have to, it's so simple. Just ask, do you have anything left over? And so many people say yes.
Sit down and have leftovers together. What a great story. Hey, if you have a story idea for Joey's Journal, you can email it to joeysjournal@kgw.com or post it right on Joey's Facebook page.